This is your gap recap video for the week of February 20th through the 23rd. I'm just going to point out the gaps that have closed to the upside and gaps that have closed to the downside and any gaps that have formed in between the week that I've been checking. Now, first up is NEO. We ended the week at $5.40. This gap opened up on Monday and closed out on Wednesday. This one as well to the downside at $5.96. This gap also closed out right there to the downside at $5.71, and this one as well. And that closed out at $5.38 and had been in play since February the 6th. There's another gap to the south side that takes us out to $4.70 on the 5-minute time frame. We are going down. And if we continue to go down, it will get closed out. But if there's a reversal, then this one could come to haunt us for a while. There's another gap here at 716, and then several other gaps in between. That largest gap here will take us out to 1030. I've talked about these in the past, but when we get to those levels, I will definitely point them out. They are a ways away, not in our time frame, not in our channel, not in the zone right now, but the potential is there to reverse. SoFi ended the week at 817. This gap right here formed and closed out to the upside on Wednesday. This gap right here also, nope, it didn't touch. It touched right here, so it finally closed out. And that started on the 31st, and we closed to the upside at 840. This gap formed this previous week. I forgot to extend that one out, but this one is still in play to the downside at 802. This one formed this week, closes out at 851. So we gapped down, so I anticipate a gap up. And we are in a downward channel, so I'm not confident that this one will close out this week if we continue to go south. But if we turn around, this is our next gap fill. And then we have this one at 963 and 994 to look forward to, but not in the channel, not in the zone. And do we have anything to the south side? No. The next one is Tesla. This is a very gappy stock, so I don't mark out the gaps unless it's a big one. And the bigger, cleaner gap to the south side here extended from the previous week and will go into next week. That will take us to 878. We are in an upward channel, but in the last few days in a downward channel. We are at support, so I will anticipate a bounce right here on Monday. We could go just a little bit more to the south side and then reverse. So the gap that I am tracking takes us to 974. This one has been in play for quite some time, since January 25th. Okay. There are gaps to the upside here that I'm also tracking, not in the channel, not in the zone. This one will take us to 1023. And this one to about 1051. The next one is Rivian. I've seen a lot of Rivians lately. I'm not sure how I feel about the car. I don't think it's that pretty. I think the headlights are interesting, but the body of the car is not attractive to me. All right, 1007 is where we ended. This gap is still in play to the north side, not in the channel, not in the zone. This gap is still in play as well. It developed this week. It will close out at 1533. We are in a downward trend, so I do not expect it to fill on Monday, but if we reverse, it could. We could touch it if we reverse and begin to close it out, but not close it out completely on Monday. I don't expect that whatsoever. And I do not see or have not tracked any gaps to the south side, it looks like. PCG, Pacific Gas and Electric. So this gap that I have been tracking for some time closed out on Tuesday, right there. It has been in play for weeks now. Ever since Monday the 5th, I've been tracking it. And finally, we closed it. Yay! Now, as you can see, there was this gap as well that I have been tracking since the 2nd of February. And look at that. We finally touched it right here as well. So that gap is a goner. Pulling our accounts up. That's gone too. Done. This gap, we gapped up on Friday, hit resistance and whomp, right back down where I would anticipate it to go because we were at resistance and you know what happens there. So this gap is in play for us now to the south side. That will take us to 1663. I'm not going over price in this video, only gaps. Otherwise, this video will get way too long and it's already gonna be long. All right, this gap is still in play to the south side, takes us out at 2713. So if you like to go short, that's a possibility, but right now we are in an upward channel, so we're not there. This one we gapped up, so I anticipate a gap down as well. That will take us to 2758 roughly. But the gap that I was tracking previously starts at 2905 and takes us out at 3035. I've been seeing a lot of Pfizer COVID commercials. They're ramming it down our throats again. Get the COVID shot. You cannot pay me enough to get it, but I will buy the stock. All right, I've traded this previously. Oh, no, I haven't. I just bought in. I bought in here and I've bought in here for myself and for my mom. So when the time comes, I will be getting out. This is not going to be a long-term trade for me. This is just riding gaps and seeing where we can go and then getting off the train. All right, that's the last gap I am tracking for Pfizer, it appears. All right, so that's good. I would love for this thing to turn around. And on the monthly, it appears that this stock, BMY, and some other ones are looking attractive to me on the bigger time frame, on the monthly time frame. Check that out. That's where I like to make either longer trades or longer investments. Pfizer will not fail. The next one is Exelon Corporation. Many gaps, as you can see. Let's start with what happened on Monday this week right here. So this gap that I have been tracking finally closed to the upside. And that one started at 3607, began on the 16th of January. So that is done. It makes my chart look very messy since I am tracking so many of them. Finally, there's a turnaround in this stock. So that's done. This one closed out as well to the upside. So that's done. That one I've been tracking since, good Lord, the 18th. If you were patient, you were rewarded. And then this one closed out right here to the upside as well. 34.97, done and done. And then this one touched previously at 34.34. And then this one touched. I just never cleaned up my chart. I clean it up with you, so I have not gone back to make my edits here. So we are doing this together in real time. This one closed, opened up this week and closed to the upside at 36.21. The next target for you will be this one, which I've tracked in the past, taking us to 36.62. So that's still in play. And then this one is still in play as well. And that takes us to, I didn't mark it out, I guess, but I will extend it out for the following week. We're not in that channel, not in that zone yet, but that will take us to 37.89. And this gap developed this week because we gapped up on earnings. And I will show you what happened. Reported 5.368 billion, estimate 3.868 billion, a 38% difference. What a whopper of a change there, 38%. Wow. All right, to the south side. I think if you're trying to go short, I don't know. It's an upward channel. Obviously, people will cash out because they've ridden it or they're out and just want to hop off the gravy train. But it will come down to haunt us at 34.75, and that could be another potential buy-in area. The one-year price target on this puppy is now 38.24. All right, that's the last one I'm tracking for you. And did I go over PCG? I guess I did. Boy, I hope I didn't skip it. But this is the only one that, oh no, I did. I'm sorry. This closed and then this one is still in play. Sorry. All right, so Exelon, a couple other gaps to the upside. Altria Group, nice upward channel. This gap opened up for us this week and closed. That was a fast little one. Took us to 40.42. This gap from the previous week is still in play. Takes us to 42.40. And I've been talking about that gap for, look at this, how long? Since December 20th, and many gaps in between. Check out my older videos if you want to see that. But then a nice upward channel for us overall. And those are old price targets, support resistance. Okay, Schlumberger. This gap is still in play that I've been talking about. Wow, look at that. It takes us all the way to 53.03. Nice. But there's been a fight for this one to get to that level. This gap, we gapped, what did we do? We gapped down, so I will anticipate a gap up as well. So that is something to look forward to the upside. And then this gap takes us to 53.03, not in the channel, not in the zone. We are in an upward channel, but in the last few days, we've been going down here and now going sideways. No gaps to the south side that I'm tracking. BABA. All right, out of the gate on Monday, this gap formed, you could see right here. It's a small one, but it's clean. So if I mark it out, it went down. So I anticipate a gap up. And look what happened. We've closed out that gap on Wednesday. Opened on Monday, closed on Wednesday. That took us to 73.90-ish. This gap formed and will take us to the south side. At 73.15 roughly. This gap to the south side, nasty little gaps. It'll take out your account if you're not careful. And what is this one? Oh, this is a big one. Oh boy. I've been in this one too. I've been trapped in BABA. This is a nasty one. 68.64 to the south side, and then 65.29 is another gap I'm tracking. But fortunately, we have been slowly grinding upward. All right, and hopefully we will not go down to close out these gaps. Let's think positively and pray that these gaps close, all right? That one and this gap here will take us to 78.46. Okay. And all these other gaps closed. Yeah, this was a nasty, look at this fall right here. Got you trapped. The 1-year price target is 106.74. Thank the Lord. The next one, Uber. On Monday, we fell down from where we were, so then we also gapped. We went up, so anticipate a gap down. So now we have this nasty gap to the south side right here at 76.57. This one to the downside still in play. That takes us to $69, but we are not in the channel, not in the zone. This one takes us to 81.26. Okay, and we are in upward channel. Nike. This gap closed out to the upside at 106. This one, 104.68. And this one, this big bopper, I'm still tracking to the north side at 122, I think. Yeah, 122.40. Not in the channel, not in the zone. Something to be aware of. And finally, Boeing. This gap is almost touched it. This is going to still haunt us to the south side at 196.08. So if you thought you missed an opportunity to go to the south side, nope. And this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, we're not in the channel, not in the zone. I will keep you posted on that. And then this one here as well at 248. Now all these other gaps still in play here, here, and fortunately we touched here, so that is done. But many gaps to the south side. 217.69. Oh, and this little baby one that I'm tracking, that will take us to 222.74. Okay, this video is getting very long. I appreciate you watching. I will do another video and replace, no, I won't replace because there was one more gap to the upside on this. I'll go over price targets for Monday very soon. Thanks so much for watching.